Hi everyone. I thought I would just do a little update on where I am these days and what's happening with me. It's in my health. It is Saturday, April 24th, 2021. I'm out here in my back patio in Santa Monica, and I just had a follow-up appointment with Dr. Fischer, my Western oncologist, at St. John's yesterday, and had my Avastin maintenance infusion, which I will have like every 3 weeks for the first 3 months or so, and then that will change. I also had my appointment, a consult with Dr. Heidi Lucas, who's my naturopathic oncologist, who's really been the light in the fog through this whole thing in regard to my diet and supplementation. I mean, she's just been incredible. I don't know what I would have done without her, and she's just such this calming presence that has helped me sift through a lot of, information regarding, what's the best diet, what's the best supplementation, for especially, every cancer is different, and, unfortunately, most Western oncologists, they don't know much about the nutrition part, and so she has really, really been, my team. I've got Dr. Fischer, who's my Western oncologist, and then I have her to help me with the nutrition and everything, and she's just incredible that way. I don't know really what I have done without her, because there's so many schools of thought when it comes to cancer and what to eat, and it can drive you crazy. It can be overwhelming. And so she's just been amazing. So I had a consult with her on Wednesday, and we're just updating my supplements and, my eating, and anyway, it was great, as always. She helps bring clarity in regard to all of that. We can't just make general statements of, oh, yes, people ask me all the time, like, what do you eat, people who have cancer or have found out that they've gotten cancer, like, what do you eat, what are the supplements, and I don't mind sharing that, but, it's really, as I have always said, in this field as an exercise physiologist, whether it's exercise, your eating, whatever it is, lifestyle, you have to find what really works with you in your body. Like, what works for somebody else may not work for you. And, to just give general statements, I don't mind people coming to me, of course, and I can certainly offer what my journey has been, and I look to, and that's part of why I'm sharing these videos, is to share what my experience is on this path. And if it inspires, if it helps others, then, I mean, my God, that's why I do this. It's why I want to do this. I know I've always been here to help serve. That's why I choose the career that I do as a wellness coach, as a, exercise physiologist, as a fitness instructor, trainer. I want to serve. I want to help people have, their best life. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So, this journey with cancer has been no different. It's given, I mean, I knew from day one, once I was diagnosed, back in August of 2019, that if this crossed my soul's path, number one, that there's a reason and there's a purpose, a higher reason and a higher purpose, and that I was going to approach it that way. And if what I go through can benefit and help somebody else, then it's all worth it. And that is why I continue to share my journey. So, but with that said, I know what has worked for me, and I can certainly offer that. But when it comes to specifics, somebody's diet and supplementation and all of that, that is really very individual. And that's why when people have come to me about that, who've had cancer or whatever, I've always recommended Dr. Lucas. I mean, obviously, because I know her and I know what she's done for me, and she's just really helped me get clear on the whole eating to support the healthy cells of my body while my body is going through, was going through healing from surgery back in October to, going through chemo in the last 6 months. So anyway, so it's really individual. Just like exercise, it's really individual. And I just love helping people find what's going to work for them and what's going to work for their mindset, what's going to work for their lifestyle, what's going to be realistic. Yeah, the one size fits all, no. Anyway, so had my session with her, which was great. And, Dr. Fischer at St. John's yesterday, when I saw him, first of all, he's an amazing man. And I really respect him because he's really made me feel like, he's empowered me to giving me the space to choose, my path through this, and, to work as a team with him. Yeah, chemo wasn't my favorite thing to do, but if I had to go through it, I'm grateful that he has been my doctor, because he's really held the space for me to, do all of the alternative, quote unquote, alternative modalities, and he said to me yesterday, he said, your blood work is great. He's like, your body is bouncing back. It's been 6 weeks since my last chemo session, March 11th, and he's like, all of your blood work's almost back to normal. And he used the word unheard of. It's unheard of. And I was like, I looked at him and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I said, are you just blowing smoke up, my hind end? And he's like, why would I need to do that? He's like, it's the absolute truth. He said, you've gone through a major surgery. You've gone through a pretty rigorous protocol of chemo. And he said, and you've made it look easy, even though he says, I know it hasn't been easy. He said, but I attribute it to that you just have continued to do what you do. You exercise every day, your nutrition, your meditation, all of the things that you have continued to do to support yourself. He said, yeah, he said, tell your story. And I just was like, whoa. But he said, a lot of times when people get a cancer diagnosis or anything, they kind of shut down. And they think, oh, I got to take it easy, and he says, but you have chosen almost the opposite route. And I said to him, well, my entire career I've been teaching that movement equals life, and I really believe that. I mean, I don't just believe it, I know it. Like, movement brings circulation, blood flow, oxygen to the tissues, to the brain, but also it tells our body, movement, that we're alive, we're choosing to be alive. We're not shutting down, we're not getting stuck, we're not, the energy isn't shutting down, it's continuing to flow. And, like I always tell my clients, you look at a swamp, it's stagnant, stuck, murky water. Our body gets that way when we don't exercise on a daily basis. It just shuts down, energy flow stops, circulation stops. How can the body heal? It can't. Or let's just say the body is programmed to heal. It is, every cell, and it will do its darndest to heal no matter what, but we can help it. And of course, exercise and physical activity does. And so whether I was in the hospital recovering and I could hardly move, I just did what I could to keep moving, go for my little walks. They seemed insignificant, but I knew they were significant. I'd do little body weight exercises, heel raises, push-ups against the wall, things that were telling my cells of my body, like, hey, yes, I know we're traumatized here a little bit, but we're going to keep doing things that reaffirm life. And so, when it was painful, when it was very uncomfortable, I just kept telling myself every step is a step into affirming life. And of course, it's so important. And also, I had, just where I put my mind, where I've had to put my mind, where I continue to have to put my mind, because the mind can always go into the what ifs. And, but that doesn't serve. Our mindset and our attitude changes everything. And it has been my constant practice to keep my mind in the right spot, meaning in the positive, in gratitude, in appreciation, finding joy, finding laughter. Studies, research is showing that laughter, humor, joy, it raises the vibration in our body. It brings us peace, and the body heals in that place. So, it's always easy to focus in anything in life, to go down the negative, dark road, and again, the what ifs, and our mind can really do a number on us. It can really do a number. And, just like anything, if we want to get better at something, a skill, whether it's tennis or whether it's learning to type or whatever, you have to keep practicing. Practice to develop that, mind-body connection, brain-body connection. And the same thing with our mind, keeping our thoughts in the right place. It's moment to moment. And, our true mastery comes from recognizing that we create every moment. Every moment we give it meaning by the thoughts that we choose, how we choose to see it. And so, I don't know, I'm not an authority on anybody else's life. I just share what has worked for me through this whole journey. It's like, I've been a spiritual seeker. I've been reading books and of all philosophies, religions, blah, 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 ever since I was a teenager. And it's like life. Cancer said, okay, that's great. Good thoughts. But here's an opportunity to put all of that stuff into practice to a degree you never have. Yep. Oh, yeah. And for that I'm grateful, because it's like, where does the rubber meet the road? Do my beliefs serve me? And do I really believe what I believe? The body's a miracle, that it can heal, all of that stuff. Movement equals life. Do I really believe that? Or is that just lip service? Well, guess what? Cancer gave me the opportunity continues to give me the opportunity to put those principles into practice, what I believe. It's definitely given me that opportunity. Is that what you really think? Is that what you really believe? Here we go. Here's the opportunity to demonstrate it. Anyway, one day at a time, one moment at a time. My blood work, by the way, red blood cells just slightly below normal, coming up. White blood count in normal range. Low normal, but still there in normal. And my cancer marker number is 9. 35 and below is normal. So, grateful. One day at a time. All right, thank you for listening. Love you all. When we heal our heart, we heal the world.